This video will be about graded quizzes. These are the most configurable type of learning item you can create in the system. I'm starting off on the Learning tab. To get where I need, I'll click the Online Courses tile, and then the Courses tile. And then I'm going to select the course that I want to put the graded quiz into. I'm going to go into the Course Content area, and then I'm going to add in a new graded quiz. I do this by clicking the Create tab here. In this case, I will be clicking the Learning Item tab, but if I wasn't sure, I can type in a keyword, such as quiz, and it will narrow down the options for me. So I'll click on the Graded Quiz tile to create a quiz. The first thing we're going to do is give our quiz a name, and then I'm going to select some questions to put into this quiz. Now, to keep this video as short as possible, I already created some questions in the question bank earlier, so they're already there for me to choose from. But if I wanted to, I could add in new questions by clicking on this button here. I'm going to pick some questions from a category that I have in my system. I pulled up a category, and I know that there are a few questions I want to use. So I'm going to just click the Add button on each one I want to add into the quiz. Okay, so those questions are now in my quiz. Next, I will add in some more questions using wizard blocks. This is a way to quickly and easily select a group of questions from a specific category without having to add each of them individually. I'm going to select a category. I can either randomly or in sequence pick the questions from the category. I will choose randomly, and now I set how many questions I want to add. So this category has 5 questions in it, and I'm going to pick 3 out of the 5. So in this example, this wizard block will pick 3 random questions out of the 5 possible questions. I'll add that into the quiz, and you can see it appears here. I'm gonna do the same thing again for a few more categories. Okay, so now I have a few questions that I picked that I definitely wanted in the quiz, and I also have some wizard blocks that will randomly pick questions from different categories. Now I want to arrange the order of the questions somewhat. I can just drag each question or wizard block up or down to change the order. Once I've done that, there's another option I have. I can deliver a random quiz variation to each user. So I'm going to select that option. With random quiz variations turned on, the system will create multiple variations of the quiz. The questions I added individually will not change, but the wizard blocks that pick random questions from categories will potentially be different for each variation. So now I'll just publish the quiz. I can now return to the course builder, and I will go ahead and add the quiz into the course. To do this, I just click the Browse tab again, then locate and click the Graded Quizzes tile, and then locate and click on the quiz I just created to add it into the course. Now that the quiz is in the course, I'm going to edit some of the quiz settings by clicking the menu button here and then clicking the Edit option. Let's go through some of these settings. I'll go into the General Settings tile. From this area, I can set either a time requirement or set a maximum time a user can spend in the quiz. I can also define if I want to allow users to retake the quiz when they pass, when they fail, or both. This setting here applies protection to deter users from copying content from the quiz screen. Going back to the Graded Quiz tools, let me mention a few other settings. If I click the Graded Quiz Settings tile, here I can set the passing score for this quiz. This setting here lets me set if I want to shuffle the question order. These other items here are for max completions, high stakes mode, and if I want to require all questions to be answered before a user can submit the quiz. Here I can set up notification emails, which also requires the global setting for quiz notifications to be turned on. Here, I can set up enhanced authentication. When set up, this will require the user to authenticate themselves at an interval I define. I can set it up to require authentication when they start or resume the quiz, or I can set it up to require them to authenticate multiple times. For example, I can have it set up to ask for authentication every 10 minutes. In addition, I can also set what to ask for from the user. For example, I could ask for a specific phrase to be entered, so I might make it the word keystone. Alternatively, I could ask for something from their user profile data, such as their username or their password. I can also enter more than one field. If I do this, each time a user is prompted to authenticate, the system will choose which data item to prompt them for. So the first time they may be asked for their username, and the next time, perhaps they will be required to enter the city they live in. It's actually quite flexible. Lastly, let me quickly mention, I can also adjust the feedback and response pages. I can set what gets displayed to the user when they pass and when they fail. Both of these settings allow you to use a variety of placeholders to create a response page that has just the information you'd like it to have. And that's the overview for graded quizzes. Thanks for watching.